Hi everyone, welcome to week 4. I want to give just a brief overview about what you will be reading about and learning about this week. It will be blogs, images, and micro moments. So let's get started on blogs. Why blogs? I had a student a few years ago tell me, "Oh, blogs are out of touch. They're out of style. They're going to be extinct soon." Well, that hasn't happened yet, and I don't think it will happen. And David Meerman Scott agrees with that in his textbook, and he says that there are especially two main reasons why an organization or a small business, a small company should blog. First of all, you own it and you control it. If you are counting only on social media to be your presence with developing a relationship with a customer, then that's not as reliable in the long term because a social media site might shut down, such as Vine, which shut down and was a pretty popular site. And you will find new social media sites being established and gaining traction for a while, and then they're gone. Of course, there's the monsters like Facebook that will probably never go away. Who knows? We just don't know that at this time. But if you have your own blog, it is your own website, your own URL, and you own it and you control it. No one can take it away from you. Also, a benefit of blogs is that search engines will index the words and the content on there. And so that way you might also develop some traffic through search engines. So really the world of blogging has exploded over the past 10 years. And blogs are being used for many reasons to express, just people talking about how they're feeling and things like that, or to amuse, to influence, and to connect. Those are the main reasons we see blogs. Now, a characteristic of a blog, just so that we're all on the same page and you know where we are, it's a journal style website. And it's a running conversation. And most of them are very conversational in tone, the way they're written. They're not super long, and a lot of them are focused on a particular topic. It's not, might be a makeup blog, or maybe it's about organizing or about repairing automobiles, whatever it might be, but it's usually very focused on a topic. And it's written from a singular viewpoint. So you're not going to have all sides. If it's an opinion, you're not going to have all sides. It's going to be one person's viewpoint on that issue. Blogs, of course, are in reverse chronological order. The most recent is posted at the top. It goes first. And then the other ones, you have a history there. You have an archive of other blogs that have been there, and they can live and be around for a long time. You also use keywords that helps them be searchable for audiences. And the best blogs are those that allow readers to leave comments. That way you're having that conversation with your audience. Now, Scott mentions 4 ways to use blogs, and you can read about those in chapter 5, but I want to just go through them really quickly. The first way is to monitor what people are saying about your organization, your industry, and your products. To participate in conversation by commenting on blogs. So if I was the social media person for Rochester College, I could actually go and find different bloggers who talk about education or college life, things like that, and I could actually comment on their blogs to develop a relationship with those bloggers. That takes us to the next point, working with bloggers who write about your field and shaping conversation by writing your own blogs. And this first point, monitoring other blogs, Scott writes that he finds it fascinating that most of the time when I mention a company or product on my blog, I do not get any response from the organization. However, maybe 30% of the time, I'll get a comment on my blog or a personal email. These are the 30% of companies that monitor the blogosphere and react to what is being said. And that is a great way to connect with influencers on social media, but also with reporters, with media people, with future customers, so that you can develop a relationship with them. So just the simple act of monitoring what is being written about. I mean, you can do that by setting up Google Analytics and Google searches. to find specific words and specific keywords that might appeal to your industry and your field. Also, next you can comment on other people's blogs, so you can engage them in a non-invasive way. You can just have a conversation, and you can have a high response rate. It's likely that you'll get a comment back if you comment on someone's blog. Also, it lets you show that you are knowledgeable, you have critical thinking, and that you are a player in that industry or that field. And it also shows that you're just participating, that you're trying to be an active part of the conversation, the value that's going on in that field or industry. So Sam Hewlett in the Social Media Today blog, he says that the best way to engage with someone is to leave thoughtful comments on their blog. Email gets ignored, calls go straight to voicemail, but comments get responded to. So if you find an influencer or a media person or someone in your industry that you want to connect with, a really great way to get them to respond to you is to comment on blogs that they write. The next is to work with bloggers. This photo here is just of fashion bloggers. So if I was a PR person or a media person for a clothing company, maybe I would try to find different fashion bloggers, those that are influencing other people, and try to connect with them. 90% of bloggers welcome contact from representatives in the field that they write about, just so that you treat them as individuals, that you don't try to spam them with hype or marketing language or tools that don't apply to them, and give them good information, give them value, and they might actually end up writing about you, and that can provide more benefit for you and your company. So the key, though, is not to just randomly send out press releases that don't really apply to them, but to interact with them individually and target them, not just spam them with mass media type things. And the last is to shape conversations by actually writing a blog and building your own blog, having a community, expressing your expertise. And in chapter 15, David Meerman Scott gives lots of practical tips on how to do that and how to write that type of content. Next, you're going to read chapter 16 on images. Really interesting chapter on how you can tell a story through photographs. Also, I found the couple sections on Pinterest and Instagram really interesting. I was recently at a digital media conference, and there was a guest speaker there who works for Pinterest, and he was showing all kinds of ways that companies can be using that platform to connect with their audience. And infographics are very popular. They have been for quite a while, and I think they'll continue to be. So be sure and read chapter 16 on images. And then you'll finish up, before I go on, one note about images that I totally agree with David Meerman Scott about is you really should use real people in your photographs and not stock photos. So here's an example. This is a stock photo. I just Googled college students, and this is what came up as a stock photo for me. You can tell it's a stock photo. It doesn't really, it's a great photo, really beautiful and everything, but it doesn't have as much of an authentic feel to it as maybe this next photo does. The quality on this is not great because I just grabbed it off RC's website. I didn't get the original photo. But you can see it just feels different. It has a different feel. It looks like our students, our traditional students, and they're all in our spirit wear, and it just is more authentic. So try to avoid using stock photos. Okay, and the last thing that you'll be looking at are the information I have on the week about micro moments and really how to connect with consumers at the precise moment that they are nearby and ready to buy or to interact with what you are selling. So I think that video and that guide that I have posted there will be very informative for you as well. So I hope you're enjoying everything that we're studying and learning about. As always, if you have comments or questions, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you.